Hello everybody, this is Jonathan and today I'll be replacing Htop with Btop and I'm going to show you guys why that is a reason. So if I go ahead and type down at the terminal Htop, it actually has a pretty basic user interface and it looks pretty nice. It's very colorful and it does show up like graphs so you guys can see how much of the CPU usage is being used up with each core. It also shows up how much of the memory is being used up, and it shows up the how much of the swap partition is being used up, and it also shows up the uptimes, how long we'll be running this system for, and how many tasks is running in the background. At the bottom over here, you guys will see a table, and this table contains all of the tasks that is running in the background. And you guys can press onto F9 if you want to end the task. You guys can go ahead and select any task you want, and you guys can use the arrow keys to move down, or you guys can move up by using the down and the up arrow key. So I'm going to press onto F1 and that should show you guys how to use the application if you guys want to read through it. It's pretty easy to use. But if I press onto the enter key, and if I want to go ahead and enter a task, I will enter the Htop task. I'm going to go ahead and press onto the F9 key, and I'm going to go ahead and select the enter key. And now as you guys can see, I was able to successfully exit from Htop. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and type down Btop within the terminal. Press onto the enter key and that should start up the application, and it shows up the system information as you guys can see on the screen. It shows up the time over here, and the time is currently 3 o'clock. Over here it shows up for CPU information. So for CPU I got a Celeron J4105, and it shows up how many gigahertz is being used up. So it's showing up as being 2.1 gigahertz. And it also shows up how much of the CPU cores is being used up as well as the temperature and the load average. And it also shows up this very nice graph as well of the overall CPU usage as well. And currently for CPU usage for me is around 57%. There's also information on the memory. It shows up how much of the memory in total that we got. So this is the memory, which is for RAM, which I got 8 gigabytes of memory. It shows up how much of it is being used. So it shows up as 2 gigabytes. How much is available? How much is cached? How much is free? And it shows up in a very nice user-friendly way. It also shows up the information on the disks, so how much of the space is available for each partition, and it also shows up the swap partition as well. Over here shows up the internet information, so it shows up the download speed and the upload speed as well, to see if how fast your internet is basically. And it shows up some additional information on the networking as well, but all I would be interested in is the download and the uptime information. Over here is a table of all of the applications and all of the processes that is running in the background. So I can go ahead and select task, and I can use the arrow keys to go down and to go up. If you guys want to end a task, what we'll do is press onto K, and you guys can select yes if you do want to end the task, or no to not to end the task. So I'm going to go ahead and select no because I don't want to end it, but once you press onto yes, it will just end the task. If we press onto the escape key, and you guys can go ahead and select options, and you guys can make some customizations to it. So for example, you guys can change the color theme, and it's happening in the background. And there are currently 33 color themes. I really like the blue one. The blue one looks pretty cool. And you guys can also change the theme background to true to false if you wanted to, but I want this one to be true. You guys can also disable for true color if you truly wanted to, but I hope this one stay on true. You guys can force TTY. I will just keep that one false. Theme keys. So if you guys are an expert of theme and you guys want to use for theme keys, then you guys can go ahead and enable it. Presence. Define presence for the layout of boxes. Pretty nice. Shown boxes. Available values are CPU memory, not perks, are GPU 0 through GPU 5 for GPU boxes. Okay, we also got update, which is update time in milliseconds, so you guys can go ahead and change it to be faster or to be slower. You guys can go for rounded corners, so that one is false, so I won't have any rounded corners. Actually, it does update it, so you guys can see. I'll have this one as true. You guys can go ahead and change the graph symbol as well. And you guys can go ahead and see which one I like the most. But I want to keep it as being Brazil. I think that one is pretty cool. You guys can also change the clock format as well by typing down a new clock format. But I like the way it is currently. You guys can also enable base 10 sizes. So if I go ahead and set this one to be true, it does update the base 10 sizes. So basically use 10 for bits and byte sizes. Use kilobytes is equal to 10,000. So it does actually allow you to change the 10 sizes. So if you want to enable that, you guys can also do background updates. You guys can make this one false, so that means it won't be updating in the background, but I do like running it in the background. It's pretty nice. You guys can also allow it to show battery as well, which is also being shown in the system monitor. You guys can go ahead and select battery, which I think just changes the which battery to use if multiple are present. Can be both batteries and ups. Okay, when you have one battery, so it'll just be auto. So battery voltage. So we can disable that, or we can make it true. I'll go ahead and disable it because I don't need it. And you guys can also change the log level as well, which I like it to be a warning. So that's pretty nice. You can do more customizations, and it's much more customizable than using Htop. So I'm going to click onto the escape key. You guys can go to help, and that shows up how to use the application. I'll press onto the escape key, and you guys can also select quit to quit out of the application, or you guys could do Control-C within the program, and that should allow it to exit. So now if I go ahead and run Btop, as you guys can see, it does apply for a new theme to it. So this is a reason why I would highly recommend Btop over Htop, is because it has more customizations and it is way more modern than using Htop. Anyway guys, if you like this video, please put a like and please subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.